The last tab of the four main tabs of the ribbon is called Database Tools. Click on the Database Tools tab now, and you'll see 5 groups: Macro, Show and Hide, Analyze, Move Data, and Database Tools. A lot of these options on here are unrelated, and they're somewhat categorized by a particular option. Macro is the first group, and the first button in the Macro group is Visual Basic. This will launch the Visual Basic Editor window. This is a little bit beyond the scope of this particular series, but I encourage you to learn about Visual Basic and Access 2007. Run Macro allows you to run a macro. Create shortcut menu from Macro. It's dimmed right now because it's unavailable, as is Convert Macros to Visual Basic. This wizard will help convert saved macro objects that you have to Visual Basic code. In the Show Hide group, the first button is Relationships, and we'll discuss the Relationships window in detail when we discuss tables. In the Relationships window, you can help define relationships between tables and enforce referential integrity. Property Sheet button allows you to open the property sheet for the specific object you have available. The Object Dependencies button allows you to see which queries, forms, reports depend on a specific table. Beneath Object Dependencies is a checkbox called Message Bar. If you have this selected, this shows the message bar, which is right below. Next to the Show Hide group is the Analyze group. We have 3 options in here: Database Documenter, Analyze Performance, and Analyze Table. All 3 of these you'll find useful in analyzing your database for objects, performance. If you need to see if one particular table needs to be broken out into several different related tables, this wizard will help you through that. Next to the Analyze group is a Move Data group. It has 2 options: SQL Server and Access Database. The SQL Server button will launch a wizard that helps migrate some or all of your database to a Microsoft SQL server. Access Database, similar type of situation. A wizard walks you through splitting your database into 2 parts: the tables and all the other objects: queries, forms, reports, macros, and modules. If you plan on sharing your database, it's essential that you split your database. The last group on here is the Database Tools group. First option is a Link Table Manager. If you'd split your database into 2 separate database files, the tables in one database and all other objects in another file, this Link Table Manager will help relink the tables if you move the databases to a different folder. The next command is Switchboard Manager. The Switchboard Manager will help you make a new form and table that you can use as a menu system to navigate around the database. Encrypt with Password is a new feature of Access 2007. You can encrypt the database and apply a single password to open the database file. If you need some security, you can use this option, and anytime you open the database, you will be prompted for a password. If you don't supply the password, Access 2007 will not open the database. Add-ins. If you click this button, you'll see the first option says Add-in Manager. If you have installed other add-ins for Microsoft Access 2007, these will be listed beneath Add-in Manager. The Add-in Manager button itself helps install any additional third-party add-ins for Access. The last button is Make ACCDE File. ACCDE File is another file extension that Access 2007 recognizes. If you make this particular file, Access strips out all of the readable, editable text code in your database and compiles it, so you will not be able to make any design level changes to your objects, such as forms, reports, and modules.